Tonight on To The Point, the 11th hour scramble.
So the deal on the table is as is. You either vote for or you vote for the shutdown.
We came to modest achievements. And a tweet changed all of it?
The heated debate in Congress to avoid a government shutdown, what's in the latest bill and what it means for your bottom line. Plus, the push to ban new gas-powered cars. The EPA paves the way for California, but it could still face challenges.
The first of many atmospheric rivers set to arrive on Saturday. How many more we could see through Christmas week.
And later, concerns growing over President-elect Trump's plan for mass deportations, how one organization is preparing to fight back.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. And we start tonight with the looming government shutdown. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are scrambling to reach a deal on government funding. Just hours ago, House Republicans voted on a new funding plan, but it did fail, 174 to 235. Today's vote follows a previous bipartisan plan that was shut down Wednesday after President-elect Donald Trump and Elon Musk came out against it, saying it had too much spending and needed to raise the debt ceiling. The latest failed bill included, among other things, a 2-year suspension of the debt limit to 2027, a 3-month extension of government funding until March, a farm bill extension, $110 billion in disaster relief package, and funding to rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. I spoke to California Republican Congressman Tom McClintock about his thoughts on the bill, and here's what he had to say.
I don't like the 2-year debt limit extension, but I very much want to see President Trump succeed, and he believes that this measure is necessary to set the stage for the administration to get off on the right foot, and that weighs very heavily in my calculations. So for that reason, I'm going to take a little of Benjamin Franklin's advice and doubt a little of my own infallibility and support the bill that the president believes he needs to get off to the right start.
And the White House says President Joe Biden opposes the House Republican spending bill. Congress has until midnight on Friday to come up with a way to fund the government, or federal agencies will shut down, meaning that hundreds of thousands of federal employees could be sent home or stay on the job without pay. And following criticism of the first spending bill, some members of Congress are floating the idea to replace House Speaker Mike Johnson with Elon Musk. Brandon Lewis from our Verify team looks into whether that's possible.
After the House's spending bill collapsed, Republican Senator Rand Paul tweeted the House should consider naming Elon Musk as its new speaker. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said she'd be open to supporting the idea. Musk was named to President-elect Donald Trump's advisory group on government spending, but isn't an elected member of Congress. So, does the Speaker of the House actually have to be a member of Congress? Let's verify using these sources. The U.S. Constitution says the House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. And that's all it says. It makes no mention of the Speaker having to be from the majority party of the House, although they historically have been. So, no, the Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. In the past, non-members, including Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and even Senator Paul, have received votes for the position. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
A new decision by the EPA this week means California is on track for all new car sales to be zero-emission vehicles by 2035. The EPA granted California 2 waivers just yesterday, allowing the state to set standards that are stricter than current federal rules. ABC 10's Becca Habegger spoke with people praising the decision and also those who say they'll fight to overturn it.
A decision by the EPA Wednesday allows the California Air Resources Board to move forward with 2 new regulations. One will require manufacturers to comply with more stringent emission standards. The other requires an increasing number of clean vehicles be delivered for sale each year. By 2035, all those vehicles must be zero emission, which includes the option to sell plug-in hybrid vehicles. It points out the regulation does not ban fossil-fueled cars and pickup trucks. Residents can drive existing internal combustion vehicles as long as they want.
It's good that California is adopting strong rules.
Dan Becker is director of the Safe Climate Transport campaign with the Center for Biological Diversity.
The biggest single step we can take to protect us from global warming pollution is by making cars go further on a gallon of gas and then use no gas.
California Democrats and environmental groups are praising the move as good for people's health and wallets since they won't have to pay for gas with electric vehicles. Governor Gavin Newsom saying in a statement, with more makes and models available than ever before, millions of Californians have already made the switch to clean cars. Automakers and manufacturers have made it clear they intend to stick with California and consumers as we move toward clean cars that save people money. Others oppose the waivers, saying they reduce consumer choice and will force Californians to buy more expensive vehicles.
There are families all across the state of California that are likely to be priced out of the new car market.
Chet Thompson is president and CEO of American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers and says the changes amount to an eventual ban on the internal combustion engine.
My commentary is not anti-electric vehicles, it's anti-bans.
In a post on X, California Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley said we will promptly reverse Newsom's insane mandate in the new year. But can Republicans do that? Becker says while the Federal Clean Air Act allows for California to seek waivers to set stricter standards,
It doesn't have any provision at all that says once a waiver is granted, that it can be revoked by a president who doesn't like California. And so President Trump would lack the authority to revoke the waiver. He may try. We will sue him along with other environmentalists, and we will win.
Thompson says the U.S. Supreme Court is on track to hear a case that could decide the fate of these waivers.
I'm pretty confident that what the courts are going to find is that neither EPA nor California has the authority that they're asserting.
So California's regulations have a long road ahead.
All right, Becca's been following this for us. Becca, we know that this decision impacts more than just California, right?
You're right. Under the Federal Clean Air Act, 11 other states and Washington, D.C. are allowed to follow California's newly approved stricter regulations. Now, both the people I interviewed pointed out that represents a major slice of America's car driving public, somewhere between 30 and 40% in states now given the green light by the EPA to phase out the sale of gas-powered cars by 2035.
All right, Becca, thank you so much. And we know that a decision is likely to face some legal action.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, on the executive side, I mean, these experts were telling me that President Trump has promised to try to undo these changes. And then, of course, likely we'll see it battled out in the courts as well.
Yes, and we'll always keep you updated, Becca. Thank you so much. It is a story that is always developing. All right, in other news tonight, an investigation is underway after a person was hurt from a shooting on a Sacramento freeway. It happened just after midnight on southbound I-5 near the I-80 interchange. CHP says one bullet went through a driver's window, grazing the back of their neck. If you have any information about this incident, make sure that you call CHP. Tonight, less than a week before Christmas, a mother is making a desperate plea to find her grandchildren. On July 8th, Angelica Bravo was found dead inside a home in North Sacramento. Since then, her two children, 4-year-old Athena Lee and 2-year-old Mateo Lee, along with their father, Cameron Lee, have been missing. Bravo's family have been searching for answers and waiting for her autopsy report. Today, we spoke with Angelica's mother, who shares it's hard to move forward with so many questions.
I mean, it's been incredibly difficult for the whole family. Obviously, we miss her a lot, but we really miss Athena and Mateo. That's been a really big piece of what's so hard to kind of really just move forward in our grief, because I feel like we're a little just stuck because there's so much unknown about the kids.
The children are believed to be with their father, Cameron Lee, who police are still calling a person of interest. His car was last seen crossing the Mexico border. Family and friends of Angelica Bravo are offering a $12,000 reward for the safe return of her children. Next, on to the point, local organizations sounding the alarm ahead of the Trump transition, who they're worried about the growing list of immigrants in need.
And fog still sticking around tonight. We're seeing decent visibility from Sacramento to Stockton, but already getting worse from Marysville to Oroville. How much longer this fog will be sticking around.
And later, how the bird flu outbreak is now impacting egg prices and why some restaurants' bottom lines. Meteorologist Carly Gomez bringing our weather tonight. We could actually see some impact to our holiday travel with the weather ahead.
Definitely. If you're heading out today, you probably saw it this morning. If you had plans to head out tomorrow, we're still looking at impacts when it comes to that fog. Dense fog is forming through tonight still, and as we get to about 10 p.m., most people will see it more widespread across the valley, spots getting thicker from areas and rural areas just off 99, about a third of a mile in visibility. Getting into the morning hours around 8 a.m., that morning commute still, if you had one more day of work, you're still looking at a bit of a mess out there. Please take it nice and slow. We are not expecting this to really begin lifting till closer to lunchtime. Now, as we take a look out there, we're still getting a bit of clearing overhead, but clouds are just about to arrive as we start getting that low pressure system moving closer to us. By Saturday, we're going to expect to see some of that rain being pulled in from this atmospheric river here on Saturday, which will bring us some showers right around the mid-morning hours and into the early afternoon. And here's that atmospheric river for Saturday. We have another one, a more impactful one expected as we start moving closer to Christmas Eve. Now, this one here, if this one stalls out longer, we could anticipate our rain coming in on Monday. If it's moving quicker, we could see some of that rain as early as Sunday afternoon and evening. But it's this one we're concerned about. Tuesday's a direct shot straight into Sacramento for heavy rain as well as snowfall for the Sierra, and then another one on Thursday just after Christmas. So we'll have a nice Christmas, partly sunny skies there, but we are seeing impacts for holiday travel Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas. Clouds continue to roll in with scattered showers on Saturday. They're pretty much gone as we start getting into the evening hours, right around 4 or 5 p.m. or so. And then we expect to see more heavy rain in the forecast as we start moving closer toward Tuesday. Take a look as we get toward Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve. Heavy rain in the valley, foothills, and Sierra, snowfall expected. Then we have a pretty decent Christmas Day and more rain on the way, potentially even more impactful as you take a look at the coastline here. Heavy downpours, more snow along I-5 from Redding all the way through Shasta into Oregon, as well as that heavy snow in the Sierra from Thursday to Friday. So this one may even be worse than the Christmas Eve. So again, make sure you're planning things out accordingly to your travel and your needs, especially if you're checking on potential flight delays as well. Mid to upper 60s in those foothill spots, overnight lows in the upper 30s and low 40s. Our 10-day forecast does bring us showers on Saturday. We are going to see our weather impact alert day Tuesday for that holiday travel, heavy rain and snow. We have Wednesday, Christmas Day, and Hanukkah, and the rest of the week we are looking at a mix of rain and cloud coverage.
Next on To The Point, concerns growing over President-elect Trump's plan for mass deportations, how organizations are preparing to fight back, plus why hundreds of Amazon workers are walking off the job. With mass deportations promised by the new Trump administration, local nonprofits are sounding the alarm about a growing wait list of people in need for immigration representation. Reporter Luz Pena shows us what they're facing.
11 years ago, this single mom, who asked us to blur her face and keep her identity private, fled El Salvador with tears in her eyes. She recalls gang members threatening to kill her and her disabled son. I was afraid to lose my life and my son. That's why I came here. She's now afraid of mass deportations under the new administration, even though she's just one step away from becoming a U.S. citizen. Even though I have a green card, I'm still afraid that I could get deported. Because laws change. And with this new president, you never know what could happen. Stories like this one are flooding nonprofits like Open Door Legal, where many attorneys are sounding the alarm months before projected immigration operations, concerned that many won't have legal representation.
There is a coalition of nonprofits with a waiting list of 1,200 people who are in deportation in immigration court.
If an undocumented immigrant doesn't have legal representation, are they still required to go in front of an immigration judge?
Yes, they are required. In fact, if they don't appear before an immigration judge, it's very likely that they will be removed and deported from the country in absentia. An immigrant does not have a legal right of state-funded legal representation.
Legal experts are also noticing another concerning factor: not enough judges.
The immigration court system in the United States is broken. There are not enough immigration judges to handle the large number of people that are on the backlog.
Bill Hing, professor of law and migration studies at the University of San Francisco, believes funding now will be imperative.
Provide funding for representation, because right now some people have been waiting 4, 6, 7 years for the immigration cases. And when people come in at the border who are fleeing violence, they have a right to a hearing for their asylum cases as well.
I did speak with two UC Davis professors this week about the Trump transition and how proposed immigration policies could impact California. I asked them what the process of these possible deportations could look like. Here's a part of our conversation. People notified beforehand? Do they get a chance to appear in court and appeal a case? What would the process end up looking like?
Right. So typically if a person is apprehended, they get a notice to appear and they get put in removal proceedings. So they would have an opportunity to have a hearing before an immigration judge and go through that process. However, there are individuals who might not be eligible to have a hearing before an immigration judge, and these might be individuals who have outstanding removal orders already and have not left the country. Some of them are here just because they didn't even get notice of their hearing.
And you can catch more of my conversation in our 30-minute streaming special right now on the ABC 10 Plus app. Just look for the Trump transition on your home screen of the ABC 10 Plus app, and that is available for free wherever you stream. Let's get into your price points tonight. As we have reported, Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency due to the bird flu here in California. The outbreak is now having a ripple effect, disrupting egg products across the country, causing shortages at grocery stores and also skyrocketing prices. As ABC 10's Paul Sangha explains, some restaurants are keeping a very close eye on the latest developments.
A troubling scene unfolding at some grocery stores near empty egg shelves. A widespread outbreak of the bird flu is disrupting egg production and leaving some stores struggling to keep up with demand.
Right now, it's at that tipping point.
Restaurants are being hit as well as prices for eggs skyrocket.
Let's hope that this isn't a flu that spreads like wildfire.
Aziz Bilarbi Salah owns a few restaurants in the Sacramento area, including Brasserie Du Monde in downtown Sacramento.
We have already started working hard to diversify our sourcing when it comes to the eggs that we're using.
Eggs aren't just a side dish. Bilarbi Salah says they are a key ingredient in many of the signature items like Eggs Benedict, deviled eggs, and omelets. With pricing rising for commercial eggs, restaurants are scrambling to adapt.
Costco had organic eggs, and they were $3 and change a dozen rather than $9, $10 a dozen.
It is becoming a hard pill to swallow for businesses and consumers alike.
We're 3+ years into this, and we are this is historic what's going on.
Maurice Pateski, a UC Davis associate professor for School of Veterinary Medicine Cooperative Extension, says the current approach to the bird flu outbreak is focused more on damage control than prevention.
We need to give them information on which ones are at risk and when they're at risk, and we're not doing that yet. We've never had anything like this. Geography, it's on 6 of 7 continents, species affected, whether they're wild birds, wild mammals, or domesticated birds and domesticated mammals. We're even seeing it in human wastewater now.
As the bird flu continues to spread, the question remains, how long will it last? The hope, not long enough, where it will have a permanent impact.
I really hope it doesn't come to that.
In Sacramento, Paul Sangha, ABC 10.
With just days to go before the holidays, one of the country's largest unions is encouraging thousands of Amazon drivers and workers to go on strike. From New York to Illinois to Georgia and even here in California, the Teamsters Union is launching a strike against the biggest online retailer in the world. The union says it's a push for higher wages, better benefits, safer working conditions as well. The Teamsters say they represent 10,000 Amazon drivers and warehouse workers. That's less than 1% of Amazon's workforce. Amazon pushing back on Teamsters' actions, saying the Teamsters have actively threatened, intimidated, and attempted to coerce Amazon employees and third-party drivers to join them, which is illegal. Amazon also claims that many of the strikers are contractors, not Amazon workers. The company says it does not expect the strike to affect its deliveries. Next on To The Point, time is running out. What needs to be done to save an area that is historical land in Rockland? The race to save 400 acres from development in Rockland is now in its final crucial days. We've been following the story of the fight to save Clover Valley. It is home to Native American historical sites, a threatened species of bird, and is one of the last big swaths of undeveloped oak woodlands in Placer County. As we reported last month, Jessup University, in partnership with the nonprofit Placer Land Trust, needed to raise some $8 million by the end of the year to complete the purchase of Clover Valley from the developer who owns it. Some good news, they've secured a $3 million donation since then. The bad news, they still need $5.1 million. If the purchase isn't completed by the end of the year, the developer has an entitlement to build some 500 homes. As always, thank you so much for watching and for inviting us into your home. If you have something that we should be looking into, don't forget to reach out to me and the team. And remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. So take the time to get to know someone. And To the Point does not end here. To watch stories that are featured on our show, you can always download our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream. Have a great night, and I'll see you later. Thank you, ma'am. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look, it's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.